monetize it. Today, I've got a very special guest, Donna Hanson, who is an international speaker, trainer, and a leading educator, and a great friend of mine. Now, before we move to Donna, two things quickly. First thing is, if you have missed the past episodes, just jump onto a Digital Perspective channel in a YouTube, and perhaps you can just tick it, so subscribe it, so you can get new episodes. You would be the first one to know. Second thing all about is, if you're watching this from any social medias channels, whether that may be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, just give us a thumbs up or any comments you have, and obviously share with this post with your community, and help them to understand more about productivity. Now, one of the questions before we move, a lot of the viewers have asked, Probin, we want to know more about the productivity, and especially in these uncertain times, people are asking a lot more how they can be productive in the in the life, in the business, and that's why we have got Donna here today. G'day, Donna. Great to have you.
Good to be with you, Praveen.
Hi, guys. Now, a little bit about Donna. Donna is passionate about helping business and their teams getting off technology and back to doing things that matters in life and business. So, Donna, let's get started. First is, tell me why productivity with a focus on everyday technology is important right now.
Look, Praveen, one of the things we're seeing right now is we're over everything. We're overloaded, we're overwhelmed, and we've just done. There's just so much going on. In a time where there's a lot of uncertainty, we're looking for certainty. And when you can't get certainty around you, the best thing you can possibly do is create your own certainty. So, there's so much technology there. You need to get on this, you need to do that. You should download this app. You need to sign up here. You need to do that. We need to get our head around the fact that we can actually control what technology we're on right now, and we need to put things through a different filter, if you like, because it's so easy to buy into apps or software or programs or anything just because everybody else is doing it. But, that doesn't mean it's the right thing for you and the right thing for you in life or business.
That's a great point, especially, you mentioned about putting up the lens. That's so true. And we get so overwhelmed, isn't it? I mean, there's not one thing. There's so many things with, all these apps coming up, and you have different devices. And then on top of that, you have this little gadget, where you would be almost 24/7. So it's pretty, overwhelmed. I can get, and a lot of the viewers might be, they're sitting at home and obviously in Zoom room and say, oh God, it's pretty hard. So definitely that's good. Now, also coming that I must say, I have read your books. Two books which reclaim in your inbox, and what was the second one? All Control.
Of delete.
Yes, yes, Control.
Productivity. Yes.
Yes, and I must say I just love that. It gives us short tips and tricks, and that's what we want to a little bit know about, if we can, is those viewers who are watching this right now and slowly returning for the to the office or the sort of a new normal. What is your top three things or top three tips to reboot your productivity, Donna?
Okay, so three of my favorite things, Praveen. First of all, strip out the unnecessary. So there's been a lot of talk in recent months about Marie Kondo, who was the organizer. Have you seen some of her stuff, how she sparks joy by throwing everything out?
Good.
Well, I'm saying do the same thing. Just because everybody else is using it doesn't mean you should be. So it's a great time to strip away the unnecessary things. So if you're in business, you might find that maybe not all the social media apps are right for your market. You might find that the technology you're using, there's technology that's become a bit obsolete. So streamline it, get rid of it, move it on, don't use it anymore. Just start working out what is working for you and what's not, rather than fracturing your attention at the moment. So that's the first thing I think is really important, stripping out the unnecessary.
Right. So first thing is obviously stripping out unnecessary things. That's great. And what else, Donna? Any other tips?
Oh, I've got lots, and I could talk for hours, I'm sure,
Yeah.
Praveen. But yes, so strip out the unnecessary is the first one. The second is the KISS principle. Now, I'm not talking about Gene Simmons or, kissing your colleagues or anything like that. I'm talking about the acronym KISS, keep it super simple. So we often make things a bit more complex than they need to be. And I see this quite regularly when I'm working with clients. It might be that they send me an Excel spreadsheet as part of some consulting they've asked me to do, and say it's not doing what I need it to do. And when I look at the formulas that they've put in, what I realise is they're jumping over hurdles and creating barriers to their success and increasing risk when they could just be doing one thing. So sometimes it's things like that, and adjusting things and making them a bit more simple can actually require a second set of eyes or somebody else to look over something. And the beauty of that is when someone else looks at it, they see things that you don't see, much the same way as I'm sure when you're working with clients, they probably think their websites and their marketing is spot on. But when you see it, there's blinding flashes of things that are probably obvious to you, but not so obvious when you're right in the middle of it. So that's the second thing, KISS, the KISS principle. Keep it super simple.
So what you are saying is pretty much make it simple, isn't it? So the simple is better. That's where the mess is. I think one of our mentor, the saying is so many going on, and there's confused mind, don't buy. So if people are confused, they're not going to come and buy or go on your websites or get any of your collateral. That's a great point. So let's get onto the third point.
A confused mind gets no work done either.
Ooh, love that. Love that. So please, we are. What's the third one, Donna?
You're breathless with anticipation for the third one. So the first one was strip out the unnecessary, Marie Kondo style. The second is the KISS principle. So keep it super simple. Take away things that are slowing down your process and not speeding it up. And then the third and final thing, and this is relevant regardless of whether you work in a business where you have a team or you're connected with other entrepreneurs or business owners, and that is share and support. That's something we don't do enough of. Over the years, as businesses have grown, they've had like these silos of knowledge across a business. So I see it all the time in corporates that I work with, assumptions that people make about the fact that if I know something, everybody else in my business or organisation knows it too. But realistically, sometimes we need to keep telling people the same thing in much the same way as we would with a marketing message. And then at the right time, it'll just click and people go, now I get it. So when I say share and support, I mean when you learn to cut away something that isn't adding value for you and your business, share that with somebody else. I've just come off the back of 5 weeks not on any social media at all. And with everything that's been going on in the world, it's been refreshing to not be inundated with all this negativity. It's hard not to get drawn into that. So I've been really focused on disconnecting myself from that and really being giving myself self-care by choosing how I want to invest my time and what I want to do with it. So sharing what I've learned and helping support other people as they move through their challenges of overwhelm and overload and uncertainty. One of the things, and I know we were both at a conference in Adelaide in March, and that was probably the last time we saw each other live in person. And I know driving home from that event back to Melbourne, where I live, one of the things my husband and I spoke about was the fact that coming into the coronavirus lockdown, etc., and not knowing what would happen in that time, we decided we had a choice. We could either choose to buy into the negativity and get caught up in that and allow that to bog us and our families and our clients down, or we could choose to take a more positive approach. Now, that's not a risky approach, but rather a conservative approach, and look at it from a positive angle. So how can we move forward with this, as opposed to, wow, isn't this so bad? It's sort of leading by example. So leading our families, leading our friends, and leading our clients forward through this. So I think that's a really important element of share and support that I sometimes think, with the influx of technology and the speed with which things have changed, it's just like adding on more stuff. If you think of it like a recipe, you know, you make something and then you go, oh, I might just add that bit in, or I might just add that bit in. And then all of a sudden you add so much in that it doesn't taste very good anymore. That's what happens with technology.
So true. And you and me, we believe that, you know, technology is meant to make our life easy, not to make our life complex.
That's right.
So that's a great point. And I love what you just said is, you know, all about collaborative, all about sharing the ideas, sharing the insights to your colleagues or to your businesses. That's a great point, Donna. Now I see, while I can see that number of the audience are just logged in, tuned in. So let me quickly greet them. By the way, if you guys are just logged in, I'm with Donna Hanson, productivity expert. And if you're watching this and know more about the productivity, just give us a thumbs up or comment just down below, or share this post to a wider community. Share the love.
We need to do that right now.
Absolutely. Now, one other thing I'm hearing from the clients, Donna, the viewers or our communities, as you just said, you know, there's so much going on the digital side, and at the same time, you know, people are sometimes a little bit too much in the Zoom room, so it feel very overloaded. So what is your advice can you give to our viewers to avoid that feeling or being overloaded right now? So any tips there, Donna?
Absolutely. So these are less technology tips and more just concepts and ideas. And the philosophy I have is GET. And that's not an acronym for anything, it's just GET. So the first thing is get it out of your head. Now, probably about 10 years ago, I was invited by Microsoft to go to Singapore and to help Microsoft staff increase their productivity with, of all things, and it's hilarious, Outlook, helping them better manage Outlook and their email. And one of the things we did was just helped people get things out of our head, because often ideas, thoughts, I need to do this, I need to do that, all these things that you need to do feel like conflicting demands and can leave you feeling overwhelmed. If you can get them out of your head and down somewhere physical so that you can make room in your head for the things that you need to think about, the deep work, the things that you need to work on to get your KPIs met or to achieve your sales or to support your customers, whatever it might be. Now, this might sound strange, Prabin, but personally, I have a fetish. I have a fetish, and I'm sharing it live here about get it out of your head. And my fetish is stationery. I'm an addict. I love pens.
Yeah. Wow.
And coloured textures and notebooks and things. So I find for me the tactile nature of this and the fact that I can visually see it enables me to be more productive, because I can write things down and they're in front of me. I could put it on a Post-it note. I could have it all around the house to remind me, you know. But it gives me a sense of excitement that I'm using these tools, and it makes me feel productive, but it also makes me feel happy, and that's important too.
Absolutely.
So the first get it out of here so you can have room for the stuff that needs to be processed in your head.
Now, that's a great point. Like, while you were talking, I was just, you know, if I can share this, same. I am a great believer. I mean, every time, I mean, most of my mentors or my colleagues, always ask me, Prabin, you're involved in so many things, and I always see you doing this. How do you keep up, man? Exactly. It's a matter for our clients or for us. It's a matter of writing that clear. And then you get out of your head, and and obviously we all are different. Some people prefer in through a digital way, some people writing, some people they maintain the diary or the different ways. But what you're saying is get out of your head. That's more important. Yeah.
Yeah,
Donna?
make the room up here for the thoughts that matter. And if people are interested in ideas and insights around the importance of giving ourselves time and space to think about things, because I don't think we do enough thinking. A great book that I've been reading, or I read a couple of months ago, and I'm about to get onto his third book, is called Digital Minimalism, and it's by a guy named Cal Newport, who is a professor of computer science at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., all around the concept of a lot of the software that's been developed and how it's designed to keep us in rather than necessarily helping us be productive. So we're drawn into the excitement of it all, and
Right.
we need to be really strategic and go, well, is this for me? And as Seth Godin says about himself, I'm not for everyone. And the same applies for software.
Yeah, so true. It's different horses for different courses for sure. And great insight, Donna. I'm conscious with the time, but just there's so much, and I can see that the audience is interacting. There's there's a number of questions we could take, but I'm conscious with the time. However, if they want to know more, what would be the best call of actions for them, Donna?
Look, I talked about getting out of your head. It's also important to get talking about it. So if you're working in an organization or a team, start talking about the things that are overloading you or that you're feeling overwhelmed by. Because a lot of this is actual workload or processes, and they say a few different minds coming together, and you can come up with a solution. So you don't need to rely on just your brain. And the third gets to get support. So get out of your head, get talking about it, and get support. And if you're interested in getting support, I have a free monthly e-newsletter where I share a tip, trick, or shortcut in the Microsoft suite of products. You can sign up for it at the 3Ws donnahanson.com.au, or if you've got a particular question and you want to reach out and have a chat or see if there's something maybe you think I could help with, send me an email, donna@donnahanson.com.au, and I'll be happy to spend a few minutes and have a bit of a chat or answer your emails.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Donna. That was a great insight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's great. So if you really enjoyed this show and you're inspired by Donna with all the tips and insights, or if you're looking to increase your digital edge, I would love to hear from you. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episodes. Digital Perspectives, Thursday, 1 p.m. Bye for now.